It's a G life, swerving in a G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on the 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom we stay hunting in that moonlight. You hear the click, you hear the bang when we pass by. This ain't a game fool, the riders really earn stripes. That's on the gang fool, forever on that main line. And it's a thin line, so homie better act right. We keep it active, really active up on this side. You hear the whistle as they're throwing up their gas signs. The crime rate in the hood always stays high. Banging for the vital, trucha for the one time. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. We stay posted, drinking till the sunrise. It's that G life, swerving in the G ride. Who bang, homie, clutching on that 4-5. Don't ever slip, cause you do, boy, that lead flies. Cause at the bottom
G-File.
Now, starting off right here now in Long Beach, we have one of the neighborhoods that's been established already right here for a cool minute that hardly gets talked about, you know what I mean? Rarely does anybody speak on this neighborhood. That's roughly because it was always a small neighborhood, and for the very reason, you hardly see them up, you get what I mean? But they are there. You know, this is where they were, like, you know, coming from, their home place, their birthplace and all that. You have the Barrio Playa Larga. Now, Barrio Playa Larga is not Longos. I know how sometimes people think that that's how Longos writes it, but no, Playa Larga is actually their own gang. Playa Larga, or sometimes you see it, Barrio LB13, Long Beach 13. Yes, this is a real neighborhood. You know, it is a real thing. You know what I mean? It does exist. Playa Larga is written PLX3R, you know, R standing for Rifa, or you sometimes see it LB13 for Long Beach, you know, 13. And it is a neighborhood that's been already right here for a cool minute, you know what I mean? They've been right here since the mid-80s, like late 80s, por allí, you know what I mean, is when this neighborhood was established. Roughly always a small neighborhood. You can find them on 68th Street. That's why sometimes you just see Barrio 68th Street. That is who that neighborhood is. It's Barrio Playa Larga, so it's the same neighborhood. You know, they have different ways of writing it. And yeah, 68th Street is their home base, their main domain, where you catch them posted and doing their thing. Like I said, they were always roughly a small neighborhood. That's why you roughly don't see them up as much. But like I have always said, no neighborhood really dies out. You know what I mean? You catch still some of them around doing their thing right there, representing their barrio and holding it down still and putting it on the map. You feel me? But that's what's up with the Barrio Playa Larga. Here we have the PMR neighborhood. Pura Mexican Raza is what this neighborhood translates to. So it's the Raza 13 neighborhood. You see it up different ways. You either just see the Raza 13, or you see it R13, or you see the PMR, and PMR, you know, standing for Pura Mexican Raza. It's a neighborhood that's right here in Long Beach. Is where it originated from. You know what I mean? Roughly, they were a smaller neighborhood in Long Beach, but you know, through the time it got larger and larger. So now it's a decent sized neighborhood right here. In general, it's a larger neighborhood as a whole, because this neighborhood is also located in the IE. So the Inland Empire they have a strong fraction over there. They have several spots, because they have the west side Raza neighborhood, the south side Raza neighborhood, and the east side Raza neighborhood, but it's all one neighborhood, you know what I mean? Just different locations. And right here, it is their birthplace, where they originated from, where they coming from, out of Long Beach. You know, it is their birthplace, what they call home. Right there on 17th Street is where you find them. Hence why they even have, why you see it up, you know, sometimes been, you know, 17th Street and all that. You know, this is their main domain, their home dojo, where they be handling their business. You feel me? And like I said, it's a pretty large neighborhood as a whole, and in each individual neighborhood location, their average size. But they be doing their thing. You hear about them representing right there, been holding it down right there since the late 80s, early 90s, when this neighborhood was established. So not as old as some of these other sets, but still repping theirs right there. Another neighborhood that you have right here in Long Beach, but to nobody's surprise, is the 18th Street neighborhood. Now, the 18th Street neighborhood does have a portion clique right here in Long Beach, which is known as, well, they have two, which is known as the GLS and the CMs. Now, the GLS, standing for Eagle Street Locals, is the name of their clica, because they are located right here in Eagle Street. It is where they be hanging out right here in Long Beach. You know, there's home base for them, their main terrain. Where they be handling it, you feel me? And then the CM being Crazy Mexicans is the name of that clica, which was a crew before that just, you know, just got into 18th Street and just kept their crew name. But yeah, they do have a portion over here of the neighborhood that goes at it with all the surrounding neighborhoods around here. They already been right here in Long Beach since the 90s, so they do have quite amount of time already being right here in the Long Beach area. And like I said, going at it with the surrounding neighborhoods, but they doing their thing right there, representing for theirs and putting theirs on the map right there. Another neighborhood that you have right here is the Barrio Little Mobsters, LMS. Little Mobs, sometimes how you see it up, but that's short for Little Mobsters. Little Mobsters is a neighborhood that's coming out of the Gardena area, so the Hawthorne Gardena area. From those sides, this is where this neighborhood is coming from. They do have now, as of recently, it hasn't been that long that they've been in Long Beach. I would say they've been in Long Beach since the 2000s and like 10, por allí. You know what I mean? That they established themselves right there. But they are coming from that area, so you know they have several locations. Once I get to those areas, I'll cover their home grounds, but they're a much larger and old school hood in general. But right here in Long Beach, they have only been here since the 2000s, roughly smaller. You know what I mean? But you do see the graffiti from these guys. You do see the activity, you know, them going at it with all these surrounding neighborhoods right here. You know what I mean? Them trying to establish themselves, the neighborhoods right there, not allowing that, and you know, the back and forth. You know, hey, it's gonna create tension. That's just how it cracks in the streets. But yes, they are here in Long Beach. You know, they do have members. You know, they do be going at it with them right here and holding it down right there for the Little Mobsters neighborhood right there and putting theirs on the map. Another neighborhood that's right here in the Long Beach area, but that's not from the Long Beach area, they migrated over here, is the Barrio Mid-City Stoners. Now, I already covered them in several portions right here in the G File series. You know, because they are neighborhood, you know, out of Mid-City, find them in South Central, by West LA, and now even right here in Long Beach. Like I said, Mid-City is just a large neighborhood as a whole in itself, a much larger old school neighborhood. In Long Beach, they have only been right here since the 90s, early 2000s, when this neighborhood was established right here in Long Beach, because they are coming from that other area. They right here in Long Beach, they only have a small presence, you know, due to it being jam-packed with so many gangs right here, and you know, Cribs and Longo, and it'd be crazy. Their clica over here is a lot more smaller than the rest of their neighborhood, but nonetheless, homie, they still have members. It's still a presence, so they still be doing their thing and representing for that Mid City and holding it down for theirs right there. But that's what's up with the Mid City Stoners right here in Long Beach. Now here's roughly a more smaller hood, but I can't confirm if it's a 1-3, but that's what they write, that's what they say. You have CLB. Now CLB is also located in San Diego, but this is the one that's right here in Long Beach. CLB standing for Crazy Latin Boys. I heard that this is where they originated from, out of Long Beach. I heard that they used to be like a tag banging crew in the 90s or something like that, like the late 90s. So I can confirm if they're a 1-3, but CLB, that's what it is. Crazy Latin Boys. You know what I mean? Like I said, they were roughly always just a small neighborhood, you know what I mean? Not very large. But you still see the graffiti from them, and you do see activity by these guys, so showing that they are around and doing their thing, you know what I mean? So, you know, don't sleep on them. Like I said, no neighborhood really is like full of pure guppies. I mean, they're gonna have their riders, and that's just how it goes, you know what I mean? That's the street light, but that's what's up with the CLB right there holding it down for the Crazy Latin Boys. And of course, to nobody else's surprise, you have the Barrio MS. Yes, MS is also located right here in Long Beach. They do have a clica right here in Long Beach. You know what I mean? And like I said, MS is just located everywhere throughout Los Angeles. They got members all over the place. That's just how it is. And even though they may not be large right here in Long Beach, I mean, their home base is not even that far away, so they could just come and back them up over here. Because, you know, MS as a whole obviously is a large neighborhood. You know, I'm pretty sure everyone knows already what's up with MS. I covered them already right here in a bunch of different portions. They have their representatives. They do their thing. You see the activity, and they still hold it down for their side right there. But that's what's up with the MS right here in Long Beach. Another neighborhood that you have right here in Long Beach that's up in the mix, that's been already right here for a cool minute. I was told since the 90s, por ahí, is the STP neighborhood. Now, the STP neighborhood, standing for St. Paul. St. Paul is roughly one of the more smaller neighborhoods right here in Long Beach. You know what I mean? You can find them close to where Eagle Street is at, because them and 18th Street seem like they have like heavy beef between them, and I have to say it's because their neighborhoods are so close together. You know what I mean? When neighborhoods are so close together, you're gonna have conflicts and clashes and all of that. You know, it be on and cracking. And even though this neighborhood is roughly small, because I was told that this neighborhood is roughly less than 50 heads, so roughly a more smaller neighborhood. They be holding their thing, homie. They be holding their ground. You know, 18th Street being a more bigger neighborhood, but they still be able to combat them and the rest of the other neighborhoods that be right there that they beef it with. These guys ain't no slouches, homie. They be holding down theirs, and they still up. You still catch their activity. You still see their hit ups. You still, you still hear about these dudes. You know what I mean? These guys ain't no chums, and they be still representing right there for their side, putting Long Beach and their clica up on the map. That's at STP St. Paul right there, representing for their barrio.